Alright, I'm gonna have to start this video out with a warning because we're gonna be talking about some gory stuff. We're also gonna be showing some like bloody teeth and some bloody gums, so if you're not into that, click away. This is a first-hand story of what it's like to get your wisdom teeth out while you're awake.
So, you're about to get your wisdom teeth removed and you've been freaking out.
They are ripping this out.
Yeah. See that right there? That edge right there has been shaved down.
You know, originally I thought I was just going in for a check and a cleaning. I was so wrong. The cleaning was not normal. They numbed half of my face.
Hi, so don't mind if I'm talking weird. This half of my mouth is currently numb. This half of my face actually is currently numb. I'm Molly. I'm about 25 years old, going on 26, and I thought I was gonna be on my mom's insurance till I was 26. She quit her job, and my insurance expires this week. No, this month. Sorry, I am in a weird mood right now. Her insurance expires at the end of this month, so I was like, you know what, I need to go take care of some shit before that goes away. So I go to the dentist today and they take a x-ray of my everything, which is now my favorite picture that I have of myself. Like, that is beautiful. The piercings, the vibes. I did play with the color a little bit because I can't help myself, but my wisdom teeth are apparently an emergency.
Doctor comes in and looks at it and is like, oh my god, your wisdom teeth are impacted. They're almost done developing. They are fucking up your other teeth. We need to get you in for surgery ASAP. How about tomorrow?
So I'm gonna get them out tomorrow, but that wasn't all of it. They also were like, well, your teeth look great. You got beautiful teeth. We could tell you brush a lot. There's not a single cavity, and there's never been a cavity in my life. But my gums, your girl doesn't floss. I'm sorry about it. I don't floss. It's not part of my daily routine. It never has been. I don't know why there's a block for me of like flossing sucks. But they had to do some like deep, they call it like a deep clean. So they numbed this half of my mouth and like was going in on it. They had all type of these like little scrapers. They were going crazy with it. And they still have to do the other side. So basically, I'm gonna get like a year's worth of dental shit done in this weekend. They were able to like emergency schedule me for my wisdom teeth extraction tomorrow, and I'm terrified. I've never gotten surgery before. Oh my gosh, I look so weird talking with like half my face. I've never gotten surgery before, so I'm fucking terrified. And I was like, well, am I gonna be asleep? And they're like, no, we don't do that here. And I'm like, are you gonna give me anything? I can't just like, that's crazy. And they were like, well, I mean, we could give you like laughing gas. And I'm like, yes, please. Like, fuck, I'm not gonna just like have you, I don't know who in their right mind would get their wisdom teeth out just like, what, with local anesthetic? So yeah, I'm gonna check in with Rainbows and see if he can like drive me / be there because I'm scared. This also, the numbing that they did feels so weird, and it looks weird when I'm talking because it's like I hate everything about this.
And I'm like, surgery tomorrow? Like, that is the worst news I could get. I'm the most anxiety-ridden person in history of people. Really, it's a blessing that I didn't find out until 24 hours before, because say if I found out a week before surgery, I would have spent that entire week miserable. Instead, I just spent about 24 hours miserable. Yeah, I pretty much, from the moment that I found out I was gonna get surgery, began a downward spiral. I was at my boyfriend Rainbow's place, and he was like putting together some music because we were planning to go to a party that weekend, which we still went, and that was a journey in itself. More on that later. So while he was working on that, I was just going down a rabbit hole of YouTube, looking up every video I could find about how the surgery's done, what it's like, how's the recovery, spiraling.
So, you're about to get your wisdom teeth removed and you've been freaking out with no general anesthesia. Eat soft foods. So I would recommend having bananas on hand, eating for a short while after you get your wisdom teeth removed. Most likely will give you cotton pads to use. We'll get to that later.
At some point, I was actually able to go to sleep that night, but then I woke up the next morning and continued obsessing. Kind of freaking out. Really, I'm hating everything right now. I fucking belly hurts. My belly does not feel right. I don't know if I think it's the nerves. I feel very sick, extremely sick, and it hasn't even happened yet.
It's going to take 22 minutes to get there.
At some point, something in me flipped though, and I got to a stage of, I would call it numbness. I was surrendering to the situation, trying to find any bright side in it that I could. Part of me was like, well, I mean, at least the laughing gas should be interesting, which, by the way, I had this special request. It wasn't even going to be included, and it was like $150. Like, they were really going to just do, like, epinephrine shot, and that's it. And I'm like, doctor, come on, I need something. Like, there's no way I'm gonna just let you rip my teeth out like this. And so they're like, oh, I guess, we do have the nitrous, so if you want to like add that on. And I'm like, yeah, what? And while we're like checking in and in the lobby, I'm just crying. Ow, fucking something bit my butt. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting in a tree for this with booty shorts on. Yeah, I'm like sitting in the lobby, just like crying and bawling my eyes out. Rainbows is with me, and he's just like, baby, it's gonna be okay. And we walk back to the room where they're gonna do the surgery. I'm stalling as much as I can. I'm like laying on the table. They're like, are you ready? And I'm like, I guess we can start. Actually, wait, I need to go pee. And then I come back and I put the thing on my nose for the nitrous. And they're like, okay, breathe in through your nose, like breathe deeply and slowly. So I'm like huffing it as much as I can, just like, oh my God, please something help me. Oh my God, these ants, I'm gonna get out of this tree. These ants are too much. Okay, that's better. Get my ass bit up by fucking ants. So yeah, I'm just like breathing in as much of the gas as I could, and I was not like falling asleep or just nothing was happening really. I mean, I was feeling like a little bit high, but like it was not as intense as I was hoping. God, I feel like I sound like a junkie, like, oh, that shit was weak, but like actually, like, I wanted to be asleep. I did not want to be there for my surgery. And like the ball was rolling. This was happening whether I wanted it to or not. I've got the thing on my nose. I'm laying there. They start doing the epinephrine shots around my mouth, which that itself is terrible. But at least that I had experienced before yesterday when they did my cleaning. So that was like bad but familiar. And then they're like, all right, we're going to test and see if the numbing worked. So they start poking around in my mouth. And it was not working. It was like so intense and sharp that I'm just like, ow. So they're like, oh, we need to give it a little bit more time to kick in. And so I go back to just like huffing the nitrous. I'm like, please, Lord, something help this situation not suck so bad. And I'm like, yo, can you like turn up the music at least or something? Or like, can I get my music? So the nurse went out to get my phone and headphones from Rainbows in the lobby. And when she went to be like, oh, Molly wants her like headphones and phone, he's like, she's conscious enough to ask for that? Is the stuff not working? And basically, it was working as much as it should, which is not much. But once I had my phone and I was like opening the playlist that I specifically made for this, I actually started crying. This is the one moment that I do think the nitrous was working, because like, unless I was just so distraught. I was like literally crying because I was so grateful that good music exists. So I'm like looking at my phone and like deciding like which of the songs I want to start with. And they are like, okay, we're gonna start. So they just go ahead and like start the surgery. And guys, this is like, recollecting this right now, I still like, I can't believe this happened. I am in disbelief that this happened. I'm laying there with this thing prying my mouth open and they start cutting my gums. Meanwhile, I have like a really chill song on, like super chill song, and I hear and feel them slicing my gums open to get to the teeth that are impacted. And I needed to switch to like a more like gnarly song to just like match the energy of what was going on, because trying to have like some chill song and like calm myself down was totally not resonating with this whole scenario. So I like switch, I put on some Sticky Fingers and I'm just like hunkering down, we're doing it, they're cutting, they get a drill out and they start like drilling away at my teeth and jawbone, and I remember the smell so distinctly of the heat of the friction of the drill, like burning bone and smelling burnt bone. I don't think I'll ever forget that smell and the sound. So I like crank my music up and I'm just like, ah! And then they grab the pliers or whatever they use to grab the tooth and start yanking. They are ripping this bitch out. They are like clamped on and like tugging, and the assistant is like holding my head still, and the doctor's like yanking. Like they might as well have had like their knee on my face. Like it was intense, and I'm like actually like making noise. I'm like in this office like screaming. I don't know if they soundproof the walls or what, because there's no way I'm the only person that's just in complete terror. And and I heard the cracks. I remember hearing the cracks of it like ripping out, and then they're like, you're done with one tooth, and I hear it like tink onto the little tray, and I start bawling, and they're like, okay, we're gonna like pause for a second. I'm just on this table just like completely like this was like some horror movie shit. I'm just like so like violated. I'm just like freaking out, and they're just like don't know what to do with this girl. Like I could tell they're kind of like on a time crunch. They're like, okay, we need to like get this thing moving, but they don't really know what to do with me. And they're like, do we need to stop? And I'm like, let's do it, get it over with. So we move on to tooth number 2, which I think went by faster. I think that one just was quicker. They didn't drill the second one So that was nice. They just pulled on it, you know? Give it the old, like, knee on the face and jerk. So that was just about, just about as gnarly as the first one. And at this point, I had reached a very strong sense of presence with what was happening and acceptance. And I started having an almost cosmic experience of, like, I don't know, to people who aren't, like, super spiritual, this might sound stupid, but I was, like, I don't know, visualizing some, like, bad energies that I'm holding in my body all going to the tooth. And, like, kind of, like, harnessing that energy into the tooth and then, like, expelling it in a way. And so they were, like, the moment they yanked it out, I felt those energies, like, get yanked out with it. Like, when I tell you guys, I was literally trying to do anything I can to make this situation bearable. I was just giving it all I got. But yeah, they got the second tooth out, tink, threw it on the desk, and then I was laying there all bloody and crying. They brought rainbows in, and
I don't know how to use this thing. Quite a nose you've got there. Kind of looks like a puppy.
he was just like, oh my God. Like, leading up to this thing, he's like, it's not going to be as bad as you imagine it. Like, dude, you're totally freaking out. Like, it's totally not going to be that bad. And then he came in and saw me just, like, laying on the table, so disheveled and just, like, horribly in a horrible emotional mess. And he's like, I think he realized, like, it was worse than I imagined. It was worse than I could have imagined. But from there, it turned into recovery time. And so I sobered up from the weak-ass gas. Like, what, guys, it just not... At one point, I asked them to, like, crank it up. I'm like, this isn't doing much. Can you, like... I don't know, does it have settings? Can you turn it up? I'm very sober. And he's like, oh, that's the max. Which I know is bullshit. There's no way that what I was sniffing was the maximum. There's no way. But whatever. We had to pay my bill, go downstairs and get my prescriptions. That's fucking insane. Everyone back is shit, but, like, what? Guys, and head back to Rainbow's place for the recovery. For the rest of that day, we kind of just laid around, and I iced my face and took my medicine. The medicine they gave me was very nice. Very calming. It did help with the pain. I now understand why there's an opioid crisis, because it is so, like, the medicine they gave me, I was just so, like, cozy and fuzzy and just like, so relaxed. The day after the surgery, I was still, my mouth was hurting. It's the next morning. My face is pretty fucking swollen. That looks... I look like a man. Now my jaw looks huge. But the pain isn't terrible. It hurts, but it's not, like, as hurting as bad as I thought it would. Like, I definitely don't have dry socket. Hopefully I don't get it. Yeah, stayed medicated. They gave me those pills and I've been taking them, and those are helping. Just looking at the fish tank. Watching the shrimpies roam around. It wasn't terribly hurting because the medicine, like, guys, if they prescribe you medicine for after, it helps. I'm not usually one to, like, take much medicine really, but this was a scenario where, like, any time that I didn't take it, because I was taking them every 6 hours, by the 6th hour when it was time to take the next one, I was in pretty bad pain. This whole jaw area was just like swollen and throbbing. The holes that the teeth got pulled out of were like a sharp, terrible pain. But as soon as I like kicked in, like the medicine kicked in, I was fine. It was totally bearable. I just like slept and watched TV, ate yogurt. And then the day after the surgery, I was feeling pretty ballsy. You know, I was feeling like I don't need to lay on the couch all week. We had been planning a trip for over a month. And then last minute, I find out I have to get my wisdom teeth out the day before. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. So we went on the trip still. And it was a shit show. If you want to know how that went, it's this video right here. It was a shit show, but entertaining shit show, at least. Oh, sheesh. After the party that night, I went right back to being in cocoon mode. Just like stoned on my prescription and watching TV, eating ice cream, snuggling with rainbows for days. That is like, other than the party, I spent the past week snuggled on the couch. We went swimming one time. Other than that, doing doctor's orders, lay around, just lay around. The swelling is still a little bit there. It's been, to me, the most hideous thing. I am honestly embarrassed about the Van on the Moon vlog. As I was editing the footage, I was just like, oh my god, I look like Zac Efron.
I don't look like like any man. I look like Zac Efron.
I look like I have Zac Efron's new face, and that's terrible. As far as the timeline of the recovery, I was actually pretty much better by day 5. I did get to keep my teeth. I love them. They're so cute. Especially the one with the little like hook on the end of it where the root is.
Yeah. See that right there? That edge right there has been shaved down. Probably to get it. Let's see, it was in your jaw like this. Yeah, in your jaw like that.
I actually do have a plan that I'm gonna take the little hook one and add it to my gold chain. I'm gonna like wire wrap it or like drill a little loop into it. So if I did get anything out of this surgery, I got to keep my straight-ish teeth. I got to keep the memory of getting my wisdom teeth out. I've come to a place of gratefulness because a lot of people, this is like a big life event they have, and they have no recollection of it. So honestly, it's great that I can actually like think back to this moment and have memories to recall now that the pain and torture is over. I'm gonna have a cute tooth on my gold chain and this video to inform people of what it's like, which I really hope this doesn't like scare you guys away from getting the surgery. If you're not gonna be put under anesthesia, you should still get it. You will also be able to have the memory of getting your wisdom teeth out, and you'll avoid getting your teeth all jacked up because in reality, wisdom teeth can really do a number on your mouth. Like, my teeth used to be straighter than this. I've never had braces or anything. I've always had pretty straight teeth, but like they've gotten more crooked in the past 10 years because of my wisdom teeth. You can see like this. Those used to be straight. This tooth is kind of like not quite a snaggle tooth, but I wasn't gonna let it get to that point. Let me know in the comments if you are watching this video right now because you're getting your wisdom teeth out soon and are in an anxiety-ridden hole the way I was. I hope that I can be a light at the end of the tunnel, showing you that even the most anxious people can make it through surgery, even if you're awake for it. Thanks for watching and good luck. That shit's crazy, but it's doable. I survived, and so will you. Hopefully. You're beginning to feel very relaxed, maybe even a little bit sleepy. After watching this video clip, you're gonna become my biggest fan, and you're gonna have the sudden urge to go check out my website, where you can find all of the amazing vibes that I have to offer. Now, once I snap my fingers, you're gonna forget that you watched this clip at all. And if anyone asks you about it, you're just gonna answer, I don't know, baby.